Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. Um, I would first and foremost like to apologize for not being consistent with the content. We had a few past months that were kind of tough, but we came back with a good video hopefully today. So we're here with the big star today, Nick Gray, aka as I know him as Pops, man, and
Pops.
Alias El Pops.
of course my co-host
Pops.
Hera. So
Yeah, your boy, Herita, back
Yeah.
in this with my boy Isaac.
you already know we're back, and
I'm just calling him G because Jarita. How do you say it?
Herita.
Jarita.
It's-
Hey, I
it's
got my
just G.
Spanish going.
It's
What's up,
just
yo?
G.
It's just G for now, guys.
It's
Just
G
G for
for
now.
today,
Let's
for
keep
sure.
it like that.
But yeah, thanks, Pops, for coming today. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
First and foremost, I'd like to ask, where do you originate from? Where you come from?
Once again, my whole family's from Jamaica. So like we're island people. That's my background. And basically I was the only one that came when my mom came to the States, was born here. So I was born in Miami, grew up in Miami, just for like half of my like younger years up until like 11. I guess you could say, or 12, and then we moved to like, I don't know if you heard of like, or you've been in Florida, but it's called D-Land, Florida.
That's crazy because I'm from Cape Coral.
Oh, Cape Coral. Okay, because I usually call that place Deadland because that's how I remember it. Like you come from Miami, and then all of a sudden you move to this place where it's like nothing out there. It's just like woods, and it's just like very small build of like residential areas and like some like commercial areas, but. Basically lived there and grew up there, graduated from like Deltona High School, and let's not even talk about age. I'm not even going to go back there because I know y'all want to go and hit me on some age. But yeah, graduated from there and then basically just like started working for the Mouse for a while in Florida. So, and if y'all want to know what the Mouse is, you know what that is, right?
I believe it's Disneyland.
Walt Disney World.
I was just thinking of a
Disney
mouse.
World.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the only place that has like that like the big old place that has a mouse that runs the place. So
Okay. That's awesome, man. That's crazy. You come from Florida too, and you tell me all the crazy stories.
Oh yeah,
Florida's it's crazy out there. That's why I left.
Florida for me, I just can't stand the weather. The humidity is what kills.
Well, check this out. So when I was moving here to Vegas, like I'm used to that kind of weather. So because I grew up there, I was born there, so I knew what it's like to have the humidity. But then when I got to Vegas, I'm like, it almost killed me the first 2 years. But me, big guy, like not sweating at all. Like you don't feel the sweat, or if you do sweat, I think it crystallizes like really fast, and it's like boom, it's gone. So, but yeah, yeah,
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's crazy to see that you were out there in Florida and then came out to Vegas to even more heat. So, it's a little dry out here, but it's still
Well, I love it now.
Yeah.
I'm like this. This is my place. This is what I call home. So
yeah.
this is home for me.
Absolutely.
I love this place now.
Man, were you always a dancer? Like, did you always like dancing, or?
Yeah, so I actually told a story about this. So basically, how I knew from when a very young age that I was going to be dancing. My mom always said, like, from when I was like young, she used to always have us in the living room, and we would all like do dance battles with like the family.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like my older sister who's 2 years older than me, and then I have a sister that's like 10 years older than me. My mom took a little break because she had 11 kids, so I'm the last of 11. So basically, all of us would like I would see them doing stuff, and I would jump in the middle, and I'm like bucking and doing stuff and jumping in the middle, and the ducté wine and all that stuff, the stuff that the real Jamaicans be doing. But I started doing that stuff, and then I would like kind of lock myself in the room, and like I know this is a little crazy, but I used to play with my GI Joes. But you know how normal people will play with GI Joes, like they're fighting and they're like killing people. I'm dancing with my GI Joes.
Oh word!
Like full choreography on my dresser drawer, like literally doing like dance
hit him with the,
choreography.
hey,
Yeah, I'm
hey.
like literally, I'm like, I have like one of the GI Joes with the legs like up in the air, like doing a kick. When I have like a kick line going all the way across, it's stupid, but then it's kind of where I knew I was gonna be. Like I already knew that's what I was going to be doing. Like I don't know why. I used to choreograph and I would dance. I would sneak and
It was a dream, It was
yeah, it's just
inspiration
something that
you
I
always
just kept
had.
doing. I mean, with no dance training background, like I just kind of watched. I was really quick at picking up choreography, so that was a big thing. Like I would watch Michael Jackson, watch Janet Jackson videos. I mean, you name them, all the 90s. Come on. It's all the 90s group, you know, like H-Town, all these different groups. I'm like, and I would watch and catch the choreography really quick. And then I would just like do it. And my mom never understood how quick I caught that. But that's how I kind of did it.
I love when someone talks about Michael Jackson because every time I think of Michael Jackson, I'm thinking of the movie The Longest Yard.
Oh, The Longest Yard?
Yeah,
You know what? I've never seen the movie.
It's because
It's a
there's
good
this one
movie, by
scene
the
in
way.
there that goes
If y'all
like,
haven't seen it.
I love little Michael.
Yeah.
I will say that's really inspiring, you know, because it goes to show that you never gave up on your dream and you kept trying to pursue it, and it's finally paying off, man. And that's what a lot of people don't
Dude,
understand.
it took how old am I? 46? And it took how many years later for me to get up on TV?
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's crazy.
But that's crazy because a lot of people out there have a dream, right? And they give up on it so soon. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but at some point you're gonna conquer it, you know? And you're the perfect example for that, man. And it just inspires people to keep their dreams living and keep going, you know?
I'm gonna tell you something about this. Actually, I did when you were dance, like if you do that as a profession, I mean, I've had opportunities in many places. Like, I mean, I had a chance to do Chippendales back in the day.
You should have done that.
But I didn't do it because I was like, there was a whole bunch of things going on in Florida at the time. I couldn't really pick up and move, you know, dealing with family stuff. But then I had opportunities to do Broadway and I didn't really do that. Like I've auditioned for shows. Like I would always like do it and audition for things. And then I would just like kind of fall out of it.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I think it's just like the fear of the unknown.
Yeah,
And
well, that's
a
big one.
huge thing for me because I'm so like I have to have everything, all my ducks in a row. And if I don't have my ducks in a row, and I think you know how methodical I am, so I'll look at something and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking like 10 steps ahead. Like I'm trying to think way ahead is this going to benefit me or if this is going to hinder me? And that's what I always think of. But then it takes away from the opportunity that you can actually have by actually putting yourself out there and then seeing where that takes you.
Right.
So I was always like protective of like how I would protective of just me as a person, making sure that I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna like jack up my life. Like, you know, because I mean, you only got one life and you want to live it right, you know? So it's like, I always pride myself. I'd never been to jail. I've never been, you know, never been anywhere. Not saying there's anything wrong with people going to jail.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I just knew from being African American and being in in an urban culture.
Right.
And, you know, growing up in the projects and knowing that a lot of people in the projects did not make their lives where they are now. Like, it's like their end story is like, oh, I've spent time in jail, or I can't find a job, or I can't do this, or it's always that excuse.
Yeah.
I'm that person that's like saying, no, I'm never going to be that person because I just know better.
You believed in yourself.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
definitely push
you know?
forward.
You have to believe in yourself before anyone believes in you. And truly, you know, that's really inspiration because it just mind blows me that a lot of people really just give up at the beginning. But you'll figure it out no matter what at the end of the day. So
Yeah, it's a smart move. I just thought that everything I needed to do for my life, I already had it planned. I somewhat planned it out, but then it's like, I don't know. I think that the older I got, the more riskier, I guess you could say I got. I mean, well, I don't even know how that the whole TV show happened.
Yeah,
like it just came out of nowhere on me.
it's crazy.
But, I mean, I could talk about that. Like basically what ended up happening is like I was just doing. So let me go back and give you a little history. So back in 2020, you know, the pandemic happened. COVID. But basically, I was working my butt off, like over at the Venetian. So that's where I was working. I mean, I've been in Vegas since 2017. Been working, moving my way up into like the company with Encore, doing that. And basically, I think I've worked so much that it's like I neglected my health. Like didn't go to the doctor, didn't find out anything. And I found out right during the pandemic, like right at the pandemic when they did the furlough and everything of all of us, they said basically, you know, you've been diagnosed diabetic. And I was like, I could understand that, how I can be diagnosed diabetic. And then like in my brain, I'm thinking, and I'm like, I was a dancer. Like my body was like in top shape. And
Mr.
then
Continental over here.
yeah, I was a former Mr. Continental, and all of a sudden it's like I think I just got burnt out completely. Like I left the entertainment industry pretty much and said, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with doing something that's going to be more professional, corporate. That's what I wanted to do. But I neglected my health at that time. But the whole TikTok thing kind of came in because I wanted to take care of myself. Like I started just dancing because I've always had that talent to do it, and I can catch choreography. I would look at some of these TikToks. I'm like, oh, I could do that. And then all of a sudden I'll just learn it, and then I'll post it.
And you ramped up from there.
And then it just kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Were you surprised though? Because you're really talented, you know.
No, I'm surprised because I feel like nobody, I don't know. Like, I mean, everyone thinks of themselves in a different way.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I have my own insecurities of what I think it is. I'm a bigger guy. So because I'm a bigger guy, I don't think that people are used to seeing me like a big guy being able to do like whack his leg all the way to his head or do fan kicks or do any of that stuff. But doesn't change the way I dance. I think I still dance pretty masculine compared to, you know, some guys I've seen that does the same things I do. But I mean, I try to make it strong.
Right.
Strong choreography instead of it being like passive, like, or it looks like girly on the guy. So I think that in my own head, I've always thought of pushing myself to a point where it's like, hey, I want to see if I can do all the things I used to be able to do because I was a gymnast. So I did gymnastics and I also include the dancing into it. So I always mixed the styles together because I was a hip hop dancer. Started off hip hop, then I kind of learned all the technical crap after I got my job at Disney. So I just kept learning and growing, and I don't know. I mean, it was the sky's the limit.
Just took off from there, yeah.
Yeah, it was just different.
I mean, and then from there, TikTok got you to a show, right? And
it wasn't really TikTok. It was actually Instagram.
Really? Wow. Yeah,
I would take my videos off of TikTok,
post them on
and
Instagram.
then just, you know how you could just like, it makes a copy into your
into your
photos.
Camera roll.
Yeah, your camera roll. And then so I just moved them in there, and I would just, because I stopped doing, like I was doing it pretty hardcore when Instagram I was doing. It was like a lot of my friends from off of my Facebook that followed me on Instagram. And I started working, I think I had like maybe 1,000, maybe 800, 900 followers in the beginning. And I just stopped everything. And then I just said, you know what, I'm gonna ramp back up, and then I'm gonna get an understanding of this app. And then I started like posting. And little by little, it started moving. Next thing you know, I get not a phone call, it was an email that came through.
An email.
An email that came through.
Wow.
And basically from a casting company, a big casting company. I don't know if we can mention it, but but it's a huge casting company for some shows on NBC. And I didn't realize what it was when they asked me. And I was kind of like, let me see. Like I actually phoned a friend. I was like basically one of the girls I would TikTok with. And I was like, hey, does this even look familiar? So, literally, like, we're looking at the area code, like where they were calling from, all of that stuff. And it was legit. Like, so they just asked me to keep sending. They wanted me to do the audition process, and I did it and went through it. Didn't really hear anything.
How was the preparation for that, if you don't mind me asking? Was it hard or?
The prep? No, because for me, I was a dancer. Like,
it's natural, bro.
It's natural for me. So, like, when I got, they literally sent me like, I think it was 4 different videos that we can pick from. And they said, okay, learn one of them and then record it and then send it back to us. So I learned it. I learned it really fast. I think I learned it and sent it back like that same day.
Wow.
It was like really quick.
That take guts.
My brain.
Dedication.
Yeah,
my brain works fast. Sure, yeah. So I did that and sent it back really quick. And then they turned around and then they were like, the producers really like you. They want to see if you like to keep moving forward. I was like, well, yeah. And at the time I wasn't back at Encore. Yeah. I was at the Venetian. I was actually working for a hospice company here in Vegas as a marketer. So I had a little bit of free time when it came down to getting back into working out and doing all that stuff. And, I've already started using my TikTok for that platform to fitness and all of that stuff. But yeah, I just kept going. And then they just said, hey, once you made it to the next step, you made it to the next step, you made it to the next step. And I'm like,
Word.
next thing you know, I'm like, okay. I'm like, and then actually I was going to tell them, I said, I can't do the show.
Whoa.
I was going to tell them I couldn't do the show because I had just gotten back to the Venetian because they brought me back. And
You were like,
at a higher, and I didn't want to, like, when it came down to the professional side of me, like, I was like,
You didn't want to jeopardize that.
which one is it?
I bet you thought back at that point and you were like, you know what? These opportunities don't come often.
I thought that.
And you took it.
I thought that. But I was risking a lot because I didn't know how long the filming was going to be.
Yeah.
So the filming was a few days, but I didn't know if I can get that time off. Being freshly back, working back at the Venetian. And that's the thing I was worried about. I was like, am I going to be able to go and film the show? Am I going to get fired if I that's all I could think of.
Yeah.
Or like, am I like, what are they going to be mad? I didn't know how long the process was going to be, but I found out all that information after the fact. But
that's crazy.
I took the risk.
And for those that haven't seen the show on NBC, Pops, let them know where
So
they can see it.
it's Dancing with Myself on NBC, 10/9 Central. You have to check it out. It's basically, I can give you a little concept of the show. Basically, what they do is they have 12 contestants that they would put in each episode. And then those 12 contestants will compete against each other through 6 different rounds to be the sole pod star winner of Dancing with Myself for that episode. So, yeah. It's a pretty intense.
That's tight.
It was
Pretty intense.
It is intense, and I just want to say to everyone out there, these are good episodes, so you guys definitely have to go ahead and check them out.
Episode 4.
Episode
4.
Let
I'm
'em
definitely
know.
watching that tonight.
Episode 4.
And let them know the hosts, man. I know the hosts are all over the place. They were good hosts on that show for sure.
Yeah, Camille Costa. That's who it was. So it's a show with Shakira. Shakira came up with the idea. So what are you breathing hard? You breathing heavy? What's wrong?
Shakira. I just gotta say she fine, bro.
I know everybody thinks she fine. I think she fine too. I was like this, but it was like really funny because I'm sitting back and kind of like everybody asked me like, did you get a chance to like speak to Shakira? I'm like, yeah, I spoke to her from the pod to where she was sitting. That's where I was. We were speaking, but it was one of those things where it's like, I mean, just some of I was impressed with the fact that we had Liza Koshy and then it was Nick Jonas. I thought at first, because I think that the rumor is that they were going to have Shaquille O'Neal as one of the hosts.
No way. That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. Because I got excited about that because I know Shaquille O'Neal's pretty like tight. I mean, actually when I was in Florida, when he used to be like with the Magic, dude, he went to the same gym that I went to. And I'm like, I'm not a fan guy like with sports really, but
it's him.
But it's him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually call him the guy, the general man now. It's like the general, like from the commercials that he do. With the little cartoon.
The insurances,
the insurance guy. Yeah. So I mean, but I hear that he like does like a lot of like TikToks and he posts a lot of them and they're always dancing and stuff like that. So that was the original plan, I thought. But then next thing you know, because they were dropping little nuggets here and there. But then now when I saw like what it really was, and then to actually see them across the way while you're in your pod, it was kind of crazy. Like it was just the way that they started the whole thing, because you can kind of see out in the audience, but you really can't really see what's going on. And it's like you just know when that pod drops, when the front.
It's just like, whoop.
It just drops. It drops, and it's one of those things where it's like, you better perform. Like, it's just like you have to dance. Like, it's just, you better know your choreography, or if you don't know the choreography, just keep dancing.
Let me ask you this. What's your favorite genre to dance music? Because I'll tell you mine, but I want to hear yours first.
I'm kind of crazy. Like, I listen to everything.
Demon time.
Really?
I listen to everything. Like, I love a good, like, I can tell you this. I don't know what it is, like, but it's like, actually, I don't know. I think it was more like anything that's like hard hitting, like fast.
Perreo.
like fast paced. Yeah, I don't
like reggaeton. You know, do you listen to reggaeton?
I listen to reggaeton, but not really. Like, I mean, I like reggaeton. I like reggaeton, but like, I like stuff that's like hitting.
Oh, okay, like EDM and
like,
stuff.
Okay,
it's like,
you just gave
like
your
it's
all
just
a
in
dance
there.
right
So,
now.
like in my brain, because immediately I start thinking of like what kind of moves can I hit with this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how my brain works.
No, I'm the opposite. Like I love reggaeton, so like once I hear that, I'm just like, oh, I gotta get jiggy. You know what I'm saying? Like it just gets me in the mood. Like
So that's just like, so if you would say a style, like, I mean, if you ask me about a style of dance, I don't have one.
okay,
Because the style of dance that I do is kind of all over the board. Like, I literally take from each
You're
genre.
a professional.
Yeah, well, I won't even say it's not even professional because half the time I'm doing like there's some stuff that does not like you would not think it would work, and it works, and because I make it work, because it's just the way my brain works. I mean, I think that one of my biggest ones that I kind of had viral on TikTok is the one where they did the breakfast challenge. It's that the little walking one.
Oh, okay.
And it's just with the hands and everything, and then it's like doing all this stupid. It's stupid. I think it's stupid, and I've always said it was stupid, but it's something about it that I like. I knew I can hit it, and I knew what the flow was, and it just worked for me. And it was like what? It's at 800 and it's almost at 1 million views.
At 1 million views.
Almost at 1 million views.
Almost at 1 million
And
views.
it's at 94,000 likes.
that's
So-
crazy because I get happy with 1,000 views.
I'm happy when they it's TikTok has their moments when they want to promote you and when they don't. But it's no big deal. The way I do it is I just dance because I like doing it.
Right.
And if it goes off, then it goes off. If
You
it
see?
doesn't, then that's what it
It
is.
took a lot of perseverance, if you keep taking that perseverance into your own count, I'm sure you'll be there someday as well. And it's whatever you guys want to go ahead and do. Keep persevering to the next steps, and essentially you'll sooner or later conquer it.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the way I do it. I mean,
it's crazy.
I think that's the way we should all do it, right?
So
You have to have that mindset as if I always say dance as if no one's watching you. I know it's cliche, and I know I've heard it before, and everyone thinks that, oh, well, you already know how to dance. But the thing is, I was at a time in my life where when I started, I mean, I was in my bedroom, locked up in my bedroom, and I would do things in my bedroom when nobody's watching, And it's little by little, you have to break that confidence. It's like you have to start putting yourself out there. You have to start pushing.
You just don't gotta care. You just
You
gotta
can't care.
You can't care at all. You just kind of open yourself up and you
I
gotta
think
let it
that's-
flow.
That's what I love about TikTok in a way. I love this about TikTok and Instagram is that people, even though everyone has their little saying, well, why is that person on TikTok? Why are they doing that? Or why do you think that was good? Don't listen to the haters. Do what you do and just
Keep going.
keep going. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, no matter what you do, you can't let somebody dictate your life or tell you what they think is the norm. You stand out and you make that happen, and
Right.
you be the first person to actually put something out there that not people would typically do, but they'll love it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how many people will love what you've done.
Right.
So
No.
that's why I never judge. I never if I don't like something, I scroll through that TikTok. I literally go, okay. But I don't some people leave bad
Yeah,
comments and what
definitely,
were
yeah.
you thinking about doing that? That I don't like people like that, and I don't like seeing people do that.
When
I believe that if you don't like something, just scroll past it.
you gotta let haters hate.
Yeah.
It's always something I keep in mind. As much as you have followers, you're always gonna have the haters too.
Dude. On that one TikTok breakfast challenge that I did, I had a guy, and the thing is, I tell you right now, I am a gay man. I know what I am. So, but the thing is, everyone thinks that, oh, are you taken or whatever it is? Nope, don't want nobody. I just want to be by myself.
And that's the best.
That's who I'm dating. I'm dating me. That's it. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm gonna have them going, okay.
Just hit
Really?
the haters hate. They're gonna push you to the top regardless, right?
Yeah, dude.
When
I had one
anyone
guy.
hates-
Yeah, I had one guy literally rip apart. He said something like, you should be ashamed of yourself dancing like that. That's normally a girl's thing, and you give guys a bad name. And I'm like, where the heck is this coming from, dude? I'm like, who is this guy and why? I'm like, you must really like me.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
He wanted to date me. What's going on?
Yeah.
People, let me just say this. It's I feel like when people hate, it's out of jealousy, you know? It's like you have something that they don't, and they want to be you so bad that they got to hate, and because they can't do it.
I don't, you know what's really funny? I never understood why people, even when I was a dancer and when you knew like, we were at top form, I don't know why people judge, but I think that we're conditioned to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, people are conditioned to judge each other. Don't know why. I mean, and it's just because we're in a competitive market. Like, if you're a dancer, like out in LA, or if you're a dancer for any show, like even just doing an audition for Disney, you're competing against hundreds of people to be the one person to get that job or that one position. So, yeah, I think the society has made that what it is.
Just made to hate, to have jealousy, to have the sort
yeah,
of...
you're gonna have people that's gonna hate on you. You're gonna have people that's gonna be like, "Why did he get the position over me?" Like he's like, you know. And there's some people who really think. There's the other aspect where people think really highly of themselves and they need not to. like there, it's one of those things where it's like sometimes it's a little bit like
being humble is
key.
key.
You got to know when to be humble and back up. Let
yeah.
people kind of gravitate to you instead of you forcing it onto people.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Because if you're not humble, life will make sure to let you know to be more humble.
To be humbled.
Exactly.
Humble or be humbled.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I think I'm a humble guy. I mean, that's why I was like really shocked when they even asked me to be a part of the show.
Definitely, Pops.
I didn't even know what, I was like, I didn't think it really hit me until they started sending us the promos. Like, and they sent us the promos for like what they wanted us to post. And they said, okay, well, just post, here's your promo for you being on Dancing with Myself.
And that's when you realize you're like, damn, like I made it.
Not even made it. It's like, because really, you don't know how the show is going to take off.
Right.
Like, you know, like, I mean, even now, I mean, the ratings are pretty.
Are high?
They're up and down. I mean, they're high. I think they're high. I mean, I'm not going to talk about another show that's been out there for a long time, but the ratings higher than theirs. So I'm not going to say anything else. Leave it at that.
It's a good thing.
No, but it's good. It's good. It's just, I mean, you don't know what America's going to think. And I don't know, like, you see me sometimes at work. Like, I'm just that kind of person where I'm just kind of like, I'm so hard on myself about certain things that I have to, like, it's almost like someone has to tell me, like, hey, relax.
You know what? A lot of times I'm the same way, but it's a good thing if you put it in perspective, because you don't ever want to be in competition with somebody else. It's you versus you at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And you have to face adversity. You know, like these past 3 months, you know, have been really hard, and that's why we didn't have much content. But I made sure that I understood the way that you put yourself in a hole or you put yourself in a mess, you can get yourself out of that mess. You can get yourself out of that hole. But you have to face adversity to get out of it. Just the way you got in, there's a way out. So there's definitely a lot of key points with knowing that it's always going to be you versus you, or being hard on yourself, because no one's a better critiquer than yourself on yourself.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes it's you can't let just people like steer you. You have to steer yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't do that.
You couldn't have put it in better words, you know. A lot of times it's hard to block the haters and stuff like that. But if you use that to take you to the top of the mountain, man, you're unstoppable.
I don't worry about what anybody has to say.
Exactly.
And it should always be like that for everybody, too. Like, everybody should just kind of focus on themselves. If somebody says something bad, let them talk bad on you. But just always keep in mind that, like how Isaac said, you versus you. You're the only person that can bring yourself to the top.
Come on now, preachers.
Yeah,
they're preaching up in here. Come on now. This is church. Church. This is church. No, I mean, I used to be that kind of person when I would go on TikTok, like I would delete some of the bad comments and stuff. And I said, you know what? Why am I even doing that? I said, you know, someone actually told me what another big content big content creator basically said, don't delete those don't delete any of them, because if they're looking and they're making, and it's, trust me, you have people who are going to fight for you on the other side, like who will be like, what the heck are you talking about?
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. So I've learned not to like let that stuff, because not everyone's going to like what you do. Not everyone's gonna like what you do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But
That's crazy to
now,
think.
how do you like grow from that? You just keep going, you know.
Right.
And I mean, you may not like it, but the next 20 people will.
Right. There's always gonna be one in those 20 that's just gonna be like, oh, blah blah blah, yada yada, talking this
Oh
smack.
yeah, I mean, because they are not doing it.
But
They're
the other
not doing
19 are gonna be like, oh my god, I love this. Like, this is such good content. Like,
That's the fun part about it. And I think that's what I like about the TikTok platform. And Instagram, I'm still trying to crack it. I'm still trying to figure it out.
But you'll get there. I mean, with that show being out now, you know, you see a lot of
I've seen some movement.
going.
I've seen some movement.
100%. You know, I do have a question. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what advice do you have out there for upcoming content creators or TikTokers that are facing the adversity or give up so easy? You know, like what do you have for them in the book?
You got to keep posting. You got to keep posting. I mean, find a niche that you belong in and keep posting. You can't stop. Like, find what you belong into first. Like, because sometimes I think that the hard part is that people start going into different, like, genres.
yeah, I was gonna say genres, right?
Like, so it's like, oh, like, I mean, like for me, I dance, but then I'm a comedian too. Like, I think I'm a clown. Like, when I can be funny, but the thing is, once again, I might be living in my own like fictitious world about being funny. But
That's a big
I
word,
mean,
Pops.
Oh, I is educated. I think educated. So what happened was, but no, like I feel like I belong. Like I know what I've like excelled in and what people like me in. But the moment that you try to like go somewhere else, if you do decide to move to another part of TikTok, then you have to know how to keep the content going in there. You can't just do it once or twice or 3 times and then think that it's not gonna
pop off.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to, like, if you are trying to get into that niche of the market, then
keep posting.
You keep posting in that niche. Or you could do both, but don't give up. I think that a lot of people, they'll do it for a little bit and they get really nervous and they'll be like, well, I like this dance, but I don't want to, you know, like, but I'm not known as a dancer. You can be known as whatever you want to be known as. You just have to keep posting and don't stop posting.
I'll tell you, I'm definitely in that, because if you take a look at my drafts, like I got a lot of videos I haven't posted.
You might be dropping them, man. What's going on? I think we're going to be doing the TikTok when we leave out of here. I don't know which one we're going to do.
All right, let's do one. I'm ready.
We're going to do one, but I'm like, we figure out which one it is. We're going to do a little electric boot.
Have you seen the one where people got like flashlights and stuff and they're looking up like rapping to a song?
Don't know which one's
No,
that
they're
one?
like, it's like basically like somebody's just hanging something like off, like I don't know, off a string or just holding it.
Oh,
and there's some guy just singing "Top Off" by Gunna.
Okay. We have to go and see.
I'm gonna have to
look
show
at
you.
it. We have to look at it. We're gonna do one, but I know that for a fact.
You know, just
But I'm just saying, I feel like what people just need to do is just keep doing what you do.
exactly.
Don't be afraid to do what you do. Keep pushing out there. Keep showing people what your content is. And just because not a lot of people might be tagging onto it immediately, start figuring it out.
You're the perfect example of that, you know. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may take a few years, but
Well, it didn't take me that long. I'm just kidding.
but you see what I'm saying, you know, it's not gonna come in overnight sometimes, you know.
No, not at all.
And you just have to keep going into it, keep persevering, and our goal is to keep bringing good content to our audience and stuff. Just building new goals and trying new things is what I always say.
Your goal is always trying to get people to win people to your side. Like, and I mean, the more you win people, this person starts talking about talking about you to them, and then they'll share your content to this person. You might like this, and then they'll just keep going and keep going. But then I also think hashtags are what, like, I know that everybody's like, I know that a lot of people, there's some big followers or content creators who do not do hashtags, which I understand. But for us little small nickel and dime people, you know, hashtags is the way to go.
Very helpful.
Like, it's very helpful, but you have to make sure it's in your niche.
Right.
So I knew, like, one of the things I used is like Big Boy. Big Boy was like one of my
biggest ones.
Well, I won't say biggest ones, but I mean, I think that to see big boys dancing is huge on TikTok for some reason. So I use Big Boy. Like, I will put that in there. Or, you know, obviously For You or FYP For You.
Yeah, I always use those.
Like, use those. Viral. It's so, like, washed out right now, but it's like, still use it, you know, or trending, like hashtag trending, hashtag viral. I use Big Boy because of me. I've actually used, you know, LGBT because I want my people to follow me. Like, I mean, it's just one of those things. Even though I'm an old gay, I consider myself an old gay, but because I as much as I don't understand the new gay, I don't. But I mean, I'm an old gay, and that's I believe it at that. Meaning, I just have a different way of thinking about things. I'm still like, you know, I believe that a certain thing should happen in a certain place, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But that's just me. But I use those hashtags, and I mean, it's because I want the LGBTQIA community to follow me as well, you know, because I'm representing them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's huge. It's like, I think you pick a platform.
You have to find your audience.
Find your audience, but also represent them. Because the moment you represent your audience and then you kind of waver away from it, you lose you lose followers. Like, you know, you lose those people. You got to keep them going. Like a lot of my stuff, I don't really talk in my TikToks, which I'm going to change. I think I'm gonna change it because I think my voice is pretty smooth. I can.
You think your voice is soothing?
I'm soothing, and I can woo.
Are you gonna start singing?
Can you woo woo woo? No,
there we go.
No, that's like me being like Teddy or Pendergrass or Luther Vandross. No, but I used to love singing them for some karaoke. But I mean, I got that. I think that it's just people want to know a little bit about you. Like when you're in that world of TikTok or Instagram. So it's like if you stick with one type of content, and this is just because I've learned this from another creator who was on the show with me, Tia B. Stokes. Shout out to you, boo. Shout out to you, Miss Tia B. Stokes. Like she, cancer survivor. When I tell you, like, she literally danced her way from cancer. That's inspirational.
That's really inspirational.
And when she did that, when I've met her on the show, she's a part of my episode. Well, we danced together. So I think y'all already, and I'm not going to say, y'all just need to watch the show. I'm going to plug it again. NBC, Dancing with Myself on NBC, 10/9 Central, Tuesday nights.
Note that. You guys got
Tuesday
to go
nights.
ahead and watch that for sure. It was a really good
There's
show.
a few, I think they're going to be rerunning some episodes, but I think there's only like 2 more episodes left of the season. So get ready. Watch it. But Tia, when I met her, like this, just the inspiration of her in the hospital bed, like, I mean, skin, like, I can't even tell you how it brought a tear to my eye, like, because I knew, like, you know how that's devastating to a family.
Absolutely,
it's devastating to a family.
Definitely,
to be diagnosed, you know, with cancer, and being in the hospital. I think she went through some, like, I don't want to say it was like liver or kidney failure. I'm not sure which one it was, but I mean, just her story is just something to like rave about, because it's just one of those things that she said, this is not going to beat me. You're not going to beat me. I'm going to beat you. And the way I'm going to do it is doing something I love. I dance, and that's what I do. So she danced her way, even with tubes in her arms.
Man, shout out to her. It was
amazing. And she has millions of followers. So proud of her, and just so like inspired by her and just her content and the way that she just talks about it, and that she's still encouraging with families. Like there's like another family that in Utah that went through like losing, I think they lost the father and stuff. It's like she was doing, you know, she was just basically like,
she's a fighter then.
She's a fighter. She's always talking about everything and making sure that she has a platform and there's a cause behind why she's there. And I want to do that. Like, you know, even though I'm old and I'm 46, I want to give like even like people who are in my age range and older, like, you don't have to stop. If your body keeps moving, then keep moving.
Let's go.
And I definitely do want to say, I hope she watches this and she realizes that you're talking very highly of her, because even me, like you telling me that story,
her.
like it just kind of gave me like some
you better
sort
go
of
follow her.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Miss Tia B. Stokes. You got to look for it.
Absolutely going to follow her, because
BEE and then STOKES. You'll find her, but she is amazing. she's so inspirational to me. Like I look up to her.
That's inspiring,
You know?
man.
So I'm impressed by what she's done.
No, absolutely.
It just goes to show never give up, You can't give up.
Even through hardships and even through anything that's going on in life, you got to keep moving forward.
You got to keep moving.
Just got to keep swimming, like Dory said.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. Dory.
So I do have a question, Pops. After that show, any upcoming shows you coming? I obviously you cannot speak on them, but
any new plans? Anything coming up?
There might be some stuff that might be coming down the pipe. We shall see.
Let's put it that way.
We shall see.
Better stay tuned, Definitely. No, well, Pops, like just hearing these stories makes us want to definitely keep going harder than ever.
Yeah, I think that you guys are doing something that's like really positive. I mean, when you say stay hustling, I mean you have to stay hustling.
You want to know a funny story?
Cool, give me that story.
So, at the time I was actually working at Best Buy out here when I first moved out here, and I was all like, what do I want to do truly, Isaac? Like, what are you going to try to do? My biggest thing is like, not everybody wakes up in the morning and feels motivated, rolls out, ready to do the day. I feel like there's something that I can go ahead and help. Do I want to be a therapist? Not really. Psychologist? Not really. So I woke up in the middle of the night, I kid you not, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and create a podcast. I think that we can touch a lot of hearts out there, motivate a lot of people to pursue their dreams. And the whole reason of the podcast was for that, not to be famous, not to get a lot of views, but to go ahead and be able to
spread the word, spread the love,
So it came to the point where I was having a conversation with a customer, and the customer was telling me his stuff. Usually I don't ever tell people my ideas and stuff like that, but we were telling each other our ideas. He's all like, have you came up with a name with it? I was all like, I haven't. He's all like, well, if you find out, let me know. I go home. That day we actually trying to figure out a name for it, and we're like, the Motivation Podcast. We search it up on Google. It's already done. I was all like, man, every name is taken up.
I kid you not. I think we searched up like 10, 20 names. We're like,
that's it?
Really? Yeah.
That's it? Just 10 to 20?
I think 10 or 20.
Within the lines, though. Like,
you got
something that had to do with like the podcast, right?
So
yeah,
I think that I just was like, you know what? Well, what could we actually find? And Hustling was one. We're like, Hustling podcast. I was all like, hold up, stay hustling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like
you
that.
can't reach your goal with no hustle.
You have to stay grinding. You have to keep on the grind. You have to keep on the grind.
And it's so funny because I was actually on the phone with one of my cousins, and he was telling me, he was giving me ideas. I was telling him, I'm throwing them out there. All he was like, nah, that's not it. Until we finally got to this name. And he heard it, I heard it, and my cousin heard it. We were like,
and you just knew it just right.
It was like, nope, that's it right there. That's it, baby.
Yeah. I love the whole idea of it. When I first like started like listening and stuff, I was like, all right, Isaac, all right, this is pretty good. Like, I mean, and the thing is, it's inspirational. So it's about, but it's more than inspirational. It's also like keeping everybody on their grind.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
no matter what they're doing. It's like, it doesn't matter what you're doing or how you're doing it. Just stay motivated to keep doing it.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what's going to take you places, Even when you asked me to be on, I was like, I'm nobody. And I'm like, to me, but once again, I'm that kind of person that's pretty hard on myself. And, I'm
He's a big star. He's a big star.
Stop. I'm no big star. Do not listen to this guy. I'm just happy that, someone saw the talent that I had and they wanted to take a shot at me, like take a shot on me. And that's what means so much to me, because it's like, they could have looked at, and that's the cool thing about the show that I think about what NBC and what Shakira did, is that they didn't just took a bunch of 20-year-olds or a bunch of young people. They mixed it up. I mean, you have 9-year-olds all the way to 73.
So there was definitely diversity in there then.
There was diversity. There was guys who they were, bigger, like people who were like people who were plus size. Then you had people that were like, I mean, that were real dancers. And then you had people that weren't dancers. It's like, it was such a mix. And then you had people who were like dancers who retired from dancing and then came back, like, you know, and that's kind of my case. I was like, I used to dance professionally for years and then I stopped, like, for a good 10 years, like, well, I would say 8 or 9 years. And I said, nope, I'm not doing anything.
Hustling.
And I stayed hustling. I don't even know if I was hustling, really, to be honest. Yeah. I just kept doing something I love to do. Like because I know me. I know me. It's like the moment that you stop, like the moment you stop moving is the moment you stop breathing. And that's how I saw it. That's what was happening to me. Like my body was shutting down. And I had to shake myself out of it. I said, no, I can't do this.
This isn't where I fall.
This is not where I stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I saw that. And I said, I'm going to change that. And next thing you know, I'm on the show. So it's like, that's the cool part about it. Didn't expect it. I never thought I would be on TV, but it's like, but I was so grateful for the opportunity. So grateful for the opportunity. And it's like, and I met some really cool people. Like, it's like I met some really cool people, some inspirational people, like I talked about with Tia. Ricky Pond is another really cool, inspirational. He's in my age bracket too. Like, you know, but he's, I call him my brother actually, because he's like a brother to me. And because we took pictures together. We danced in the show together. You know, he's very motivational when it comes down to like, the dance content that he puts out, because he does like a lot of like Indian Bollywood. And it's inspirational to me because it's a dance style that I don't normally do, but I would do it because it's fun. So it's like, he's not opposed to putting content out there. And this is like Utah, like, you know, he's like, you know, just very like different. Like you would not think that Ricky would be dancing like that, but he does, and he dances and he keeps going, and I love that.
That's
like,
amazing.
It's inspirational.
You gotta expect the unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun, and it's like I've always said, like what brings people together is like the world of dance. Like that's what brings people together, because it's everyone has a different mix or a different style that they do, a different culture that they have, and it's. Like to see someone do something else that's not in their wheelhouse and then to do what's in another person's wheelhouse, it's just a melting pot to me. So I love that. Like I love the collaborations, and that's what makes TikTok so I don't know.
Unique.
Like,
unique for sure. That's the perfect
definitely
word.
Unique. It's unique. I mean, Instagram was out there before TikTok. I mean, but you know, like really TikTok was the one that took this
to a whole different level.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody, even your mom, can be on TikTok. Shaking
Probably. I think my mom does have
shaking
TikTok.
Her tail feather. And if I saw my mom on TikTok, I think my mom would have totally been on TikTok if she was still here.
I think my mom is on
would
TikTok.
Be like, she would be like, let me just pop that real quick. Show you how it's like, ow.
Shake
and
a little thing.
And I'm like, I'm not mad, but it's so funny because I would laugh at my sister and I'm like, hey, like, she's a dancer and she does not want to do it. Like there's some haters out there that don't want to mess with TikTok. I ain't gonna talk about my roommate.
You're exposing them now.
I am. I'm totally. I love you, my bro. Bro, I love you, dude. You know what I'm talking about, bro. You my bro. What's up, yo? But no, he's all about like he doesn't like it because we were both professional dancers. And I think that what he thinks about TikTok is that they're just everybody and that would do it. And it's like the people who may not dance at a certain caliber, they get millions of likes. And I'm like, but your whole reason for doing TikTok is not to do that. Like,
exactly.
Who cares? It's just to do it because you want to do it. So it doesn't matter. I don't care how many people
like this other person.
Like I'm gonna still do the same dance that you do.
Right.
And there might be people that might not like what I do, and I'm pretty sure there's people. It's just what your status is. And to be honest, I'm not trying to do it for the clout. I'm not trying to do it to get like more followers. I don't really care about it. I mean, I'm just happy.
You're just happy doing it, you know?
I'm just happy doing it. Like, you know, I mean, I have a few followers.
A few.
I have a few.
I have like 100. Like I said, I'm happy with that.
No, and you know what? But the thing is like you guys are doing like a podcast that's amazing. I think this is like an amazing idea. Stay hustling. It's just one of those things where it's like everyone has an avenue that they're taking, and it's like they're putting their content out there, and then this is your venue. This is
ours.
This is your little niche, where not a lot of people are falling into that, but it's still unique compared to anyone else. You know,
I think it was just time to change up the game, you know, and start motivating people and bringing ourselves out.
And that's what I love about it. I love this, that you have a YouTube channel. I love that you have this on TikTok. I love that you're putting this like out there.
We really appreciate it, Pops.
So it's a lot of fun.
Love it.
Before we wrap it up, man, I do have a quick question. Where do you see yourself being 5 years from now?
Oh, dude. 5 years from now.
Knowing your next move is key, right?
My next move is always key, but I mean, I think that my head is stuck on what I'm doing currently at work. Okay. You already know.
Okay.
I mean, being a senior sales manager, like, I mean, I'm very proud of where I am right now. And then to know that I can pull off very big shows at the Venetian, and then they be successful with no clients yelling and saying, "I want my money back." That's impressive. That's a standout thing to me. And Isaac knows I'm trying to push. I'm pushing him in that location. Like
I'm taking notes.
Isaac knows, because I mean, literally, like the way that my brain works, and I feel like what ends up happening is that you don't really like. I don't know. Maybe I say this, but like, because I just grew up in a different time. But my mom always told me, she said, you know, you are an African American man. And the normal thought process that people would take would be like, oh, well, he may not know, may not know too much. But that's where you prove people wrong. 100%. And you show them through your work ethic.
Yes.
And that's the way that I roll. I roll with I don't let anyone tell me, because you're going to remember me just by what my name is, not because of the color of my skin. So, and I'm not saying the world is like that. I don't feel like the world is like that anymore. I think that we've changed. And that's the one thing I have to commend about the world right now, is that even though we're in those times where it's still like weird, but America doesn't think the way they think anymore. Like, you know, like what they used to think, like where it's like where segregation was a thing. And I mean, I'm not saying I grew up in that time, but I know about it. Like, you know, I know about it. Like, 100%. You know, and I mean, like you cats, you're pretty young. So it's like, you might have heard about it, but you don't know about it. Like
not exactly,
the way that we, like I would know about it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I feel like I'm encouraging enough to know that I'm encouraged enough to know that not everyone's going to look at me in a certain way. So the only way you stand out, because now you're just a dime a dozen, you need to show by work performance.
Work ethic.
Yeah, my goal is to be a director of my own property, which I think y'all already know. But I've moved my butt up from being a labor coordinator at Mandalay Bay, and then now I'm a senior sales manager.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
At one of the biggest hotels in Vegas, and that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Nowhere else. Like Vegas is like the cream of the crop when it comes down to the hotel industry,
the hotel casino industry.
Yeah, that nowhere else in the world has that. And I'm at one of the biggest properties doing that.
Take notes, people. Take notes.
Definitely, definitely blessed. You know, to be there with you guys and be able to take notes. So.
Oh, he's gonna be rocking it. He's gonna be rocking it. I got him pegged.
I really want to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
I learned a
lot. For being the star you are. And
Lord,
we can't wait to see him on more shows. Like I said, stay tuned. With us and with him, you know, we're gonna be posting more content. We faced adversity, but we're back, right? You know,
back,
step by step.
So, but you need to do it. Wait before y'all say it. Like, the one thing y'all want to do is you want to make sure you push your hashtags or your following. So
thank you.
If you're gonna follow me if you can. I mean, I know I didn't say I wanted more followers, but if you want to follow me and you like some good content, just follow me at Nick Gray, NickGray 1, the number 1.
Yep, the man.
That's how you get me on TikTok. And if you are on Instagram, then follow me at NGRAY1010.
And we'll make sure to add the
the
names at
Instagram
the end.
tags.
You know, we gotta give this man credit for everything he's done.
Because I'm like this.
Yeah, turning up. You know the deal.
Turn up.
Turn up on a Saturday. Let's go. Nah,
What is it, Saturday?
It's
Sunday.
a Sunday.
I was like, oh, I know it's not Saturday. We back at work on Monday. What you talking about?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
And just stay tuned. We're all gonna be doing great things and hopefully being back with more episodes. YouTube, sign us soon.
That's
YouTube,
right.
please. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
Peace.
Till the next one.